guys, it's Lynn with Littlefoot Nursery. This is going to be one of my final videos with Maggie. She is the Maggie Full Body Silicone by Andrea Arcello. Her new mommy has finished paying her off, and so she will be getting packed up and shipped to be sent, but probably actually not for a few weeks. And I wanted to go ahead and do a video where I change her into a sleeper because I like to send my babies home in comfy sleepers. And I also wanted to just talk about everything that's been happening in the news with the coronavirus pandemic, and to talk a little bit about just, my thoughts on it. And I know this has been like on everybody's mind. There's just no way that, if you watch the news or interact with people at all, there's no way that you are not aware of, kind of everything that's going on. And I'll admit I've been pretty obsessed about it as well, just, watching a lot of news footage about it and all of that. So I felt like I should, I've been wanting to chat about this topic for a little bit, and and just kind of a little bit of, sort of, I don't know how my own understanding about it evolved as well. So I guess just to start it off, we all obviously heard about, the virus originating in China and then spreading to Italy and, other countries and the UK and whatnot. I think back, this was before there were kind of really cases in the US, because I went on a cruise, as you guys recall. I went on a cruise with my mom, and this was a week, there's a week in between when before I started my new job that I went on this cruise. Oh my gosh, isn't Maggie so adorable? She's just so cute. This baby, I'm gonna miss her a lot, but she is going to have a great new home. So anyway, I had gone on a cruise, and I wasn't really too worried about the coronavirus at that point. And the cruise went great, and I didn't see anybody who was sick. And so this was about a month ago, and now looking back, I feel like if the cruise had happened just even a couple weeks later, it'd be maybe a very different situation, because the way that this virus is spreading, and just with cruise ships, the hard thing is you're in close quarters with so many people over an extended period of time, and the people have traveled in from all over, so you don't know where they've been and things like that. So looking at the cruise, I just feel very fortunate that that I was, doing that, that I was fine, coming out of that. But we have a family friend who has who's on a cruise right now, and they got stuck at a port in like Chile, and they can't make it back because I think they're just kind of holding everyone. So anyway, I didn't take it too seriously at first, and even like a week and a half ago, I went to an event at Disneyland, and was just, was like not too worried about it. But it's just crazy how in a week everything changes, and just educating myself on the topic more, I kind of realized, like, wow, if we continue at this rate of transmission, we're only like 9 or 10 days behind where Italy is at. And Italy has actually one of the better healthcare systems. I think people may mistakenly think that they don't, but they actually have more healthcare professionals per capita. I think it's like they have 4 per 1,000 people versus the US has 2.6 per 1,000 people. So because I know a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, this is a media conspiracy, it's not really anything that we need to worry about, and that sort of thing. But that's not true. I mean, it is, if this spreads at the same rate that it has with Italy. Let me pick up this girl, she's so cute. Yeah, if this spreads at the same rate, we don't know what will happen exactly, and whether, I think that basically in Italy, they don't have enough hospital beds and facilities to take care of everyone who's sick. So they're kind of having to go to, like, kind of like war times, where some people, who have less of a chance of survival. Like if you're over 80, they just leave you to die. It's like so awful because they feel like the resources to try to save that person, it's just so sad. So, we obviously do not want the US to be in that same situation. So, this is why I think this is like now across the country, we're all being asked to self isolate, stay home, don't go out, only go out if it's like absolutely necessary, because each time you go out, there's a risk there. Um, there are now a couple of confirmed cases in my own town where I live, and I live in a small town. So that's scary. And, we have like one or two grocery stores. Everyone goes to the same places. But self isolate and stay home, um, get plenty of rest and all of that. But, we all need to avoid contact with other people so that we don't spread this thing further. Like, that is so critical. So, and the thing that is really scary about this virus is that people can spread it when they don't even have any symptoms. Like, you could have like no symptoms for up to 14 days, or that's why the quarantine period is 14 days to see if people manifest any symptoms. Um, and in that meantime, you could be going around, your life, and just infecting tons and tons of people. So I'm not saying this to scare you guys, but I am saying to please take, what the government is saying really seriously. And, I know it's a drag. Like, I don't like staying home. We live in a small house. You get cabin fever so quickly. I love going places. Like, I love going to Disneyland, and oh yeah, and all the Disney parks are closed for 2 weeks. So that tells you something as well. It is very, very rare for a Disney park to close for any reason. They are open 365 days a year. So that's how you know this is a true, not just a national crisis, but this is a global crisis around the world. Because I hear, I think around the world, people are doing these measures to, self isolate, social distancing, stay home, etc. So, and again, and I'll do like another video kind of more talking about, try to be on a more positive note to talk about this hobby a little bit, and as it relates to everything that's happening in the world. But this is kind of really a video to hopefully just educate people who may not be aware of everything that's like going on, and kind of aware of how serious this is. Just because your state doesn't have too many confirmed cases or any confirmed cases yet, that can change so quickly. There was a situation, they said there was one man, like I think he was like a lawyer in New York or something, who probably infected 50 people. So this is like exponential, you guys. And if each of those 50 affects 50 people, that's that's pretty crazy. Like that's what is it, 2,500? That 50 goes to 2,500 really fast. And so that's why they're having us stay home and practice social distancing, and kind of in isolation, just so we don't keep passing this to each other. And it's not just the elderly, by the way, and those with underlying health conditions, although they absolutely have a higher fatality or death rate as a result of this. It's I've read that young people die from this as well. This is not only if you're elderly, and people thinking that, oh, you'll just get a mild cold. Not necessarily. They've also said that if you catch this, and even if you recover, your lung capacity might decrease by 20 or 30%. So that's really scary. So I just wanted to share this, and like, just to educate everybody. And one thing that I will say too, that's on a lot of our minds, is the Rose Doll Show. The doll show is scheduled for late June. There are thousands of people who attend the doll show. It is an event that I know a lot of us really look forward to every year, myself included. I love the show. It's like one of my favorite things. At this point, Bountiful Baby has not said that it is getting canceled. I do think that I think everyone's waiting to see how these next few weeks play out. But I kind of feel like, this is, I feel like this coronavirus thing is not going away overnight. As much as I hate to say it, it may be best for us to cancel this event. If the event is not canceled, I know people will go, and potentially spread the virus further, and make things worse. And we have a lot of people in our community who are, in a more high risk population. One of my, a Dolly friend who is actually blind, I saw her Facebook post yesterday that, it's hard, like, and I didn't even think about this, but, when you're blind, you rely on other people, who to kind of, you rely on touch to kind of find your way around. And yes, she's washing her hands a ton, but she has to get close to other people in order for them to help her, and that puts her at higher risk, and she has other underlying health issues as well. So it's very, very scary, and it's very scary, like, just everything happening with, I know this is obviously, affecting our economy, with, all the retail stores and restaurants and museums and amusement parks and movie theaters that have to close down right now. And schools are closed for several weeks as well, at least. Um, but, it's something that, um, it's necessary, because if these things are open to the public, people are going to go. And look, my in-laws are staying with us for the week, and, they went to, they went out to restaurants to eat maybe 2 or 3 times this week. They just needed kind of a break from the grandkids, which I totally understand. But they're in that over 60 category, and I was worried for them, quite frankly. We did go out to eat about a week ago, to celebrate my birthday, which was nice. But this was kind of before all the serious, kind of concerns came about, and so I do worry about, them, especially, kind of taking those risks, um, and all of that. And I know, guys, it's so hard when you see people panic buying around you, like hoarding food, hoarding all sorts of things. You can't even go to the store. You can't find any hand sanitizer. You can't find any toilet paper. It's so stressful when that happens. But I think we have to try to. This is also an opportunity to practice kindness and compassion, and to remember that, if you overbuy, like, the stores will restock. And if you're in a lower risk category, there's no need for you to overbuy. Like, let the elderly people, get what they need. I think some stores are now opening up an earlier hour, like the first hour of the day, for the elderly people to shop first, and then before the general public is allowed. And I think that's smart. It's just, we need to protect those in our population who are most vulnerable. And even if you have a pretty good chance of surviving the coronavirus, um, it's just important to remember, other people, in the midst of all of this. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, share with you guys just my thoughts on all of this. I know these are very scary and uncertain times. And it affects things like, right now, we're really being, I know the San Francisco Bay Area is now on shelter mode, which basically means kind of a full lockdown, where you should only leave your house if it's absolutely necessary. Like, you have to get to the doctor, or you have to go buy food, but anything that's non-essential, should be cut out. And I think that the LA, the rest of the country, I think we're probably going to follow suit on that pretty soon. So, and it's interesting, like, Amazon Prime is, like, no longer, it's kind of non-existent now. It's like a 5 day, 5 to 7 day lag time now, versus 1 day or 2 days, delivery time, like it used to be. So lots of things are changing, and there's just a lot of demand. A lot of people are ordering online. One thing that we have done for our family is we've subscribed to a meal service. The one that we've subscribed to, and it's pretty expensive, but my husband's gluten free, so he has, a lot of things that he cannot eat. We're trying out Methodology. So again, it's a pretty pricey service, but they deliver food, a couple times a week, and so that's helpful. But the other thing we were talking about is, because a lot of restaurants need to close, really try to patronize your local restaurants, and order takeout. Some of them will deliver, but obviously try not to interact with the delivery person. But yeah, but order takeout, and try to support them during this time. It's really hard for them. This is their livelihood. And it's very hard for these businesses to be shut down for 3 weeks. It's really hard. So I just wanted to, send you guys some love and encouragement. I didn't mean for this to be such a sobering video, but I do feel like it's important for us to talk about it. And I do hope that Bountiful Baby and the Rose Doll Show makes some commentary soon about whether the show is still going to happen. I truly think we should cancel it, given everything we know right now. Of course, things can change, and hopefully, in an optimistic scenario, we can get this virus under control and we'll be okay come June. But I just don't know at this point. It's feeling like, President Trump has been definitely, kind of minimizing at first was kind of minimizing the effects of the virus, and now he's saying that this could last well into the summer, like July and August. And um, so I think he's done a complete 180 in terms of his views on the virus. And so I do think this is something we all need to take really seriously. And I just want to encourage everybody, to please, please, please take care of yourselves and your community. Do the right thing. Stay at home. I know it's very disappointing to cancel vacations and trips. I mean, we have 2 trips planned over the summer. Those will likely have to get canceled. I don't know. But, the important thing is health and safety first, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Maggie's going to say bye to you all. And I will, she'll still be around for a few weeks. We're not going to pack her up quite yet, but that will be coming here at some point. So, all right, take care. Bye.